Hey guys, welcome to the second episode in the Erie Canal mini-series on Lady K sailing. We left you last week after doing the first set of 5 locks from Waterford. They call it the Waterford Flight. And we ended the episode there. So now we're going to pick up the action where that left off.
With open skies above us, we'll be running side by side. Come on and weigh the anchor, we're casting off the line. We're about the destination, the journey is divine. Welcome to the story of living our boat life. We're doing it our own way on Lady K. We're sailing away on Lady K.
Off. A couple of quick notes on the Erie Canal. New York at the time in the late 1700s was the best and most protected, most accessible port on the east coast of the US. And they were taking in local goods and goods from Europe that came over by sea. The real piece missing to make New York the metropolis it is today was a connection from the Atlantic Ocean to the Great Lakes, which would actually get you to the rest of North America pretty thoroughly. In the late 1700s and early 1800s, the canal was suggested, and although it was met with a lot of skepticism, ultimately a survey of the land to get to the Great Lakes was ordered. New York was in a unique position because of the Appalachian Mountain Range blocking any access from the East Coast toward the Great Lakes, and any reasonable attempt at building a canal would have to get past these mountains. Luckily, though, in upstate New York, there's a lower spot in the mountain range just at the top of the Hudson where it might just be possible to get a canal through and get a crossing built. The Erie Canal was completed in 1825 at a total cost of $7 million. It was 363 miles long at the time and had 83 locks. The Erie Canal actually began paying for itself right away, however, because as they built each new section, they would open it for use. This way, goods could start traveling in and out of Manhattan, albeit at shorter distances for the first little while. Oh, bumpy ride. How'd that guard gate's up? All right, guys, that's a Waterford flight. We are done. One guard gate there, one guard gate ahead. It's already open. This guard gate's kind of a problem sometimes because it's usually closed, and you call them and they open it, but it goes down into the water. So when it opens, it just drips water all the time, so you get wet. It is nice. Upstate New York, in the mountains, it's breezy, trees, nature, very beautiful, very nice day. All right, guys, we're just coming up to lock number 7, which is another going up lock, a little bit higher into the mountain range. You can kind of see the waterfall in the distance. There's like overflow from the higher level on the other side of the lock. And there's one power boat in front of us, 2 sailboats behind us, so it'll probably just be the 4 of us in the lock. Something to note is if you're not the lead boat, you probably don't need your VHF. They all answer on 13, but it's always the lead boat will say, like lock 7, lock 7, lock 7, this is vessel whatever. We are westbound, looking for passage. The lock operator will tell him like, okay, this is the plan. And then the lock operator sees us and just keeps it open and lets us all pile in. And then once there's no more boats coming, he shuts the doors and sends us on our way. So you really, if you're not the front boat, you really don't have to say anything on the VHF at all. Give the lockmaster a wave on your way by. Cool waterfall. So doors are closed. Lockmaster answered the first boat and he said he'll be open shortly. So we're just gonna chill here. We've cut power We're just kind of drifting toward the lock. The other two sailboats have cut power as well. We don't have a lot of room to maneuver, right? So you really have to hang back and make sure you have room. I wouldn't necessarily want to do a U-turn in here if I didn't have to, so it's a little bit shallow at the sides. We're only in 10 feet of water now, so. Note. Lock 7 is terrible. The dude's not very nice. He makes us tie up on the wrong side. I think just so he can see the boats and get they got to write down the bow numbers. And I think that's why he makes us do port side. But it's a nightmare for a sailboat to have to switch sides, especially when you got prop walk. When you try to stop and reverse, it walks to starboard, so you lose the wall. Anyway, this lock is very, very turbulent. The boats are hitting their masts. Like every boat now has hit its mast against the wall. It is what it is. Lock 7, not fun. Alright guys, so on our way to Lock 8, Schenectady area, gorgeous, just trees, really, really beautiful, really beautiful. We stopped at Schenectady Yacht Club, got some diesel. Our buddy boat stopped for diesel too. We took off before them because they were a bit quicker than us, so let them reel us in by the time we get to the lock. On the way to Amsterdam, 3 locks to go. This is why you do the Erie Canal, right here. Alright guys, we are at Lock 9, it's over here. Beautiful mountains in the background, trees everywhere. It's a good day. Let's do Lock 9.
Love
Guys, last lock of the day, lock 10, dead ahead. Got our buddy boat right on our backside. Luna is just in front of us. He's already called in. I heard him on the radio, so I'm not going to bother. Looks like they're emptying the water from the lock right now, so we should be able to get in by the time we get there. It's another half mile, and then that's it. And there's 2 miles after this, and we are in Amsterdam, New York. Amsterdam is your first stop when you're going westbound on the Erie Canal. You start in Waterford, you end up in Amsterdam at the end of the day. It's about 40 miles. It's not a big day, but it is 9 locks. Well, yeah, 9 locks we will have done today. This is the last one of 9. So it's been a very locky day, but good. It's still early. We're going to be there by, 4:30. Enough time to get some laundry done. They got laundry here, they got Wi-Fi, they got showers, they got all that stuff. So we'll have enough time to get some stuff done, do a little relaxing, probably hang out on the buddy boat a little bit, and then tomorrow we'll get cracking. Alright guys, so we spent the night in Amsterdam, the first stop on the Erie Canal westbound. And we left Amsterdam a few minutes ago, and the next lock is almost immediately. We have our 2 buddy boats. We have Luna. And then we've got Paul behind us on the 45. Anyway, we're in the first lock. This is lock 11. It's an older lock. You can actually see it on the walls. Definitely an older lock. I don't know if it's an original lock, but it's older. It's an easy lock though. It's not a big lift. It looks like maybe, I don't know, 10 or 11 feet. Not too bad. A good way to start the day, get the first lock out of the way right away. We're gonna head for Little Falls today. It's a short day, but Little Falls is supposed to be one of the best stops on the Erie Canal. It's very, very welcoming to cruisers. Last year when I was there, you tie up to the town wall, and there was a car show on the lawn next to the town wall, and there was fireworks that night. So it is very welcoming. It's a very cool place. So that's what we're going to do today. It's only about 30 or 35 nautical miles, and only a couple of locks, so it'll be a lot easier day than yesterday. But yeah, here we are. A lot of tide coming into the lock too. You can see Paul is kind of crab walking into the lock. All these locks tend to have an overflow, so the overflow's on the other side. I can hear it. It's just a big waterfall, and it's because the water on the other side of the lock is much higher than this side, and the spillage creates a whole bunch of tide rips, sort of current, just outside the lock. So we crab walked in as well. All right, let's do the lock. Guys, 3 miles from lock 11 to lock 12, so half hour. Very, very beautiful, lots of trees. Copy that, thank you. I called him and let him know 3 sailboats are on the way. He just replied and said he'll be right there to open the gates. Anyway, very, very nice up here, top of the mountain range. Everything's beautiful. Very calm day. It's supposed to be a record hot day, and it's already starting to get warm. But about to go into lock 12. Let's do it. We'll just slide through it real slow. So Lockmaster just told us. Yeah, they're picking it up. Lockmaster just told us there's a lot of debris when we exit this lock, so we're gonna have to. We're gonna be the lead boat, so we're gonna have to just take it slow. Elaine's gonna stay on the bow and see if we can push any of it with a boat hook, but we're gonna be plowing through it. My strategy, I think, is probably to go into neutral. If there's anything that looks scary, that way my prop's not spinning when it hits anything, which would be helpful. There's a barge up there too. They've got barges with sort of like cherry pickers, and they pull the trees out of the water. So they must have had a big storm or really high waters or something to cause it all to get really messy. So we're not going through the locks at a great time because there's a lot of debris, but it is what it is. We'll make it work. Hey guys, a quick second to explain who our buddy boat is. SV Vagari is a 1960s Whitby 45 race boat with winch drums that are, oh man, they have to be at least a foot across. Anyway, we met up with him just before the Erie Canal started and he had his mast down, so we got to chatting, realized he was going the same way with us. So right after this lock, we've been running with him, I mean the entire time up the Erie Canal so far, but right after this lock, the engine started to overheat and he started to have problems. So can't really anchor in the Erie Canal. You can't really, there's nowhere to tie up. It's sort of rocks on both sides. So we were right behind him, so I pulled up next to him and I said, you know, what's wrong? And he said, we're overheating. I said, okay, quick, throw me a line, because there's really nothing else you can do in the Erie Canal. So I figured, throw me a line, we can tow you for a while, and you can then have one of your buddies drive, and that'll give you time to sort out the engine. So that's what we did. All right, so the verdict with Vagari is the sea strainer that strains the coolant water. It sucks in cool, like seawater, to cool the engine. The sea strainer that keeps the garbage out is clogged. There's a lot of stuff in it. So we're just gonna keep towing him. We're gonna let his engine cool down. We're making 4.2 knots instead of 6, whatever. We haven't lost Luna yet. Luna's still trudging ahead, but I think he's going slow just to make sure we're all okay. Anyway, we're just gonna keep towing him for a bit. When he gets the engine fired back up, the strategy when we stop towing him is I will very, very gradually slow down, because a sailboat won't stop, and you can see he's quite close to us. A sailboat won't stop. So we're very, very gradually slow down to the point where I can actually untie this line, and I'm just gonna throw the tow line in the water, and he'll have a bow guy pull the tow line out of the water very quickly so that he can then engage his prop and start moving forward under his own power. That way nobody gets hit, nobody gets hurt, and there's no props in danger of catching this tow line. Anyway, things happen. I'm glad we were here though. Otherwise he would have had to anchor, and it's hard to anchor. Okay, so he's got his sea strainer cleaned out, his engine is running, and he says it's in the green for temperature. So our plan is to just slow right down very gradually. He's got a lot more, he's 10,000 pounds heavier than us. So he's gonna have more inertia. He said he's gonna go to my starboard if he does come up on us, but I'm gonna try to finesse the throttle and slow down very, very, very gradually so that we don't actually have that problem. So let's do it. Huh? Clear. All right, I'll take off. I'll stand by 1-6. Hey guys, that's it for episode 74 of Lady K Sailing. Stay tuned next week because we're gonna see Mark get into some more trouble. Oh wait, who's this?
Hey guys.
Oh hey.
Hi.
It's Candace. How you doing, baby?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are they doing?
How are you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? So yeah, next week we're going to continue on the Erie Canal and do a few more locks, and we're going to see our buddy boat get into a little bit more trouble than he got into in this episode. Stay tuned for that, and as always, hit the like button. If you like sailboats, hit the like button on our video, and if you like our sailboat, hit the subscribe button so you can see next week's video and all the videos after that. And if you get some value out of the Lady K channel, consider becoming a patron. Patreon.com/Lady K Sailing. Send us a couple bucks every week so that we can help keep the boat in ship shape and keep the adventures rolling. See you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Love you.